Go.
Hey Karen, we're here with Peter and we're gonna have some fun today. I noticed some really cool, nice changes when I got here. One, when I walked down the hallway, Peter came up to the front of the stall, which was different than the last time I was here. Peter was at the back eating hay last time, and even when I went and opened the door, he didn't really offer to come up. And today he was like at the door, ready to go. So everything that's been happening since I was here last has obviously been really positive. And in talking to Sharon, Sharon's been speaking to him and giving him a little bit of attention each day, and it does seem like it's really helping him relax and come out of his shell. So that's really good. So the first thing we're going to do now that we're out here is a little bit of playground of safety to see where he is. I love it, and maybe I'm going to wait to TikTok him because I notice he's standing here, back feet really square under him, and these front feet really crossed, and this is probably a good angle to see that. So that is pretty awesome if he'll do that, because one of the places he was so stuck last time was in his withers and his shoulders, and that was part of what makes when his wither and shoulder are stuck down, then the head will kind of come up like a periscope. So we really were working on getting him to let go where his head and neck would go down, and to get the head and neck to come down, the wither has to come up, and for the wither to come up, it's got to break loose from the shoulders. So having him start out with this crossing the feet is really good. All right, now that he has, I see we're getting some nice twitching. This is awesome. So now he's stopped crossing. I'm going to tick-tock him. Tick-tock, tick-tock. Good boy. And we'll give him a second to see where he is. So starting out with playground of safety may seem a little dull, and I'm sure it's dull to people watching it, but it really helps me see what is his posture like, how relaxed is he, how curious is he wild, is he frozen. It gives me a place to start so that we're not working on things that he doesn't need to do today. All right, so this is good. So our feet are pretty square. Doing some lateral flexion, seeing Tommy and Tommy's friends over there. I would love it if he can just sort of walk around and investigate the ground a little bit. But we'll see. We'll see what we get. So when you do this, I want to pick a spot, and I'm going to stand on that spot, relaxed, with my focus not on the horse. And we sort of talked about that a little bit last time, but it's worth going over. If I stand here and stare at him, which I would love to do because he's a beautiful guy, but if I stand here and stare at him, it either makes me predator stare right before they jump on somebody and eat them, but also follower stare. So for him to feel really safe and feel like he can let go and let me drive, I need to not be staring at him. So I love this. They're the crossing front legs again. So, and look at the back feet wide apart and up under him. This is much faster than last time. This is really good. Now we're moving and investigating the ground already. Yay! Yay, yay! He's blown out. Yay, that's huge. I don't know that I remember him blowing out the whole time last time. Good, and we've got lawnmowers going by. Really awesome. So this also sets up something that you and I can do at the horse show. We can take him out in the grassy areas and just stand and let him take the whole environment in. You know, even if he's been shown a bunch before as a stallion, he's different now. You know, he's a gelding. So we're going to have to reacclimate him like, oh, wow, this is a new, calmer environment. Yay. So he dropped his head down, relaxed faster. Yay. So he started out and put his right eye on me, which was really good. Now he turned around. We've got the left eye on me. So yay. releasing a little bit in that wither. So this is looking really nice. And if he offers to come up here and connect really soft, I'm gonna go ahead and take that as an opportunity to switch. I love the shaking, love him licking his lips. Love him relaxing. Our front and hind feet are getting closer together, so that shows us that the top of that body is relaxing. The back's gonna come up. You see we've got some vertical lines in his barrel. That's gonna go with that back coming up. Our pawing is gonna get these shoulders and withers broken loose. And even though his head is up right now looking, it's not nearly as straight up as it was doing last time. Good boy, whenever you're ready, you can come over here and connect. This is great. I love the pawing. I would love it if he got where he could lay down with me. Oh, look how square our feet are. Front is more narrow than the back. Yay! So Sharon, you had some good comments last time. Can you see how much more relaxed he is getting started today and balanced today? Like this just feels way better. First day is hard because they just don't know what to expect.
They don't know what the program is.
Exactly. And I feel like he's like, all right, I'm getting it. And it's so interesting. He does so much releasing with his front legs. I usually run into more horses that do lots of flamingo stretches like this with their back legs. This one is opposite. It does much more with the front legs. And in my study, I have found that those front legs go a little more with the left side of the brain. So details, piece by piece, control, like the horse having self-control, like trying to do the right thing. All of that stuff also goes with kind of a low back. And he's like holding all these opinions and sort of things in. The back feet tend to go with the right side of the brain, or big picture and patterns and rhythm and just sort of emotions that just come out. The fact this horse does more releasing with the front tells me that he is a horse that really makes a huge effort to behave. He really tries. And he holds a lot of his stuff in. Wow, the difference in the back from where we started last time is amazing. And those really
just since you started now, it has changed. It's come up.
Those vertical lines on his barrel are really pretty obvious here. He's even got a little bit of vertical lines in that neck.
So when they paw in the groom stall, are they trying to release stuff there?
Yes, they probably have some opinions and emotion about being in the groom stall, but they're doing their best to hold it in. Like, instead of blowing up, I'm going to do my, I'm really having a hard time being here, versus tap dancing all around or kicking or something. They're horses that are really making a huge effort at self-control. And if we can read that pawing as a horse that's really doing their best to control themselves, boy, this is nice. Look how relaxed he is. Like the slow motion walking. Yay! I love this. Good boy. Investigating stuff in the environment. This is awesome. I think we'll get to do more fun stuff today. Wiggling his lip in the dirt. That wiggling their lip in the dirt when they're, I feel like, is a huge deal. You're getting a huge endorphin release when they're doing that wiggling. It seems like When the horse makes contact with the ground, whether it's wiggling their lip in the dirt or grazing, they're able to release a lot of emotional garbage back into the earth and get more peaceful. Boy, this is better. Look how wide apart it is. I know you can't see from that angle, but like that is huge. When we started last time, those hocks were like about touching each other. And look how far under him his hock is. That's really cool too. There's a angle that those hocks will get that becomes sort of almost unnatural looking. They get so far under. And I notice in Playground of Safety, they will do that a lot. And it seems that they, and I call it an endorphin hind leg, because usually when the hind legs are that far under them, they're like, looking like they're getting sort of stoned and relaxed. But I think probably the physical thing that's happening is when that hind leg gets under them that far, they're rotating their pelvis. They're using that to stretch their pelvis. And when they stretch that pelvis, that's another part of that back coming up. So he's able to, with this pawing, to release sort of some emotional stuff that he's holding in that back. Good. So now he's sort of connecting to me with this hip. Maybe he's not super confident yet to connect with his nose, but he kind of picked up this back leg and he's presenting this whole hind leg to me like, yes, I see you, I see you. So he picked it up again like, this is where you need to tap me today. I need you to tap me on my left hip. And see him connecting with it. He's looking at me. He's connecting to me with his eye and his ear. And that's awesome. There, so now he's come around and politely connected. All right, and he's licking my hand and just being really sweet. Good boy, hey. And me turning around that much, he was like, oh, that's a little too much energy. It's a very sensitive horse. Like, what a sweet, and there he reapproached. So now I'll speak to him a little softer. Hi, buddy. Hi. And that time when I connected to him, I didn't like blast him with so much energy, and he didn't feel the need to turn his head and leave so much. That's good. Now, I don't carry treats with me when I'm doing this stuff. Not because I don't believe in treats. I love treats. I give my own horses treats all the time. But I really want to focus on helping the horses. Oh, I see. You see he keeps doing these things with that back leg. I'm supposed to see that, so I know to tap on it. I got it. But I work on doing things that give them an endorphin release and an oxytocin release versus the treats that are going to give you a little dopamine release. Now he's putting me in position for this hind leg again. Such a smart horse. Okay. He's checking back in. And look how close together the front and the hind legs are. Good. So now he's sort of offering me right here. And I'll take it here in a second. I'm just trying to give him a chance to really let as much go on his own as possible. If he can learn to release by himself, then he can self-soothe and he doesn't need me so much. Okay, you're ready? You're ready for me? I'm happy to help you. You were so polite. You're being so polite. All right, so I'm gonna back into this spot. And see, he had to move. He's having to move. There, good. Good boy. So I'm going to wait for this to get peaceful. I'm going to wait for him to be able to do some lateral flexion toward me. There he's licking his lips. His neck is a little bent this way. I'd love for his head to be able to go down. That's awesome.